Hi, in this video we are going to prepare and execute an Ansible playbook that will prepare our ESXi host with the Vib installation for the VMware installable bundle files that NSX needs to provision services in the hypervisor. So this playbook that we will prepare here, it involves two tasks. The first is to gather the MOID. It says management cluster, but what we really mean here is a target cluster. Whichever cluster that you would like to be prepared, you'll run this task. It'll grab the management ID and it'll feed that ID to this next task to install the VIBs. So important thing to remember is this combination of tasks needs to be run for each cluster that you are preparing. Now, in the case of this reference lab, we only have a single cluster environment, and so I'll keep the playbook nice and simple with just these two tasks. And so before we create the playbook, let's look on the screen here and see what type of information we need. So we've done this gather cluster MOID before. We basically tell it the name of our cluster along with the other variables that this vCenter gather MOIDs needs in all cases, right? And that'll feed us back the MOID of the cluster. Next, we're going to install VIBs, and it's going to say that the state is present. Right? Remember once again for Ansible, we have this principle of idempotency, which we want to be able to run the playbook repeatedly. Right? If there is already ESXi host that's already been prepared, we don't want it to send back an error message and cancel the whole job out. Right? The point here is that it goes in and will identify if the VIBs have been installed. If they've already been installed, it'll leave things alone. If they haven't been installed, it will get them to the desired configuration state. And then it gets the cluster management ID here from the previous tasks. And so that's pretty much a pretty simple playbook. So let's go ahead and copy this playbook. And I will, let's look here at this run the playbook section. And we're going to, looks like I have an error in my documentation here, so I'll update this in the documentation. So we're not going to call this create controllers. We're going to call it install NSX Vibs. So I will fix that in the course. So let's go ahead and create this. Install NSX Vibs.yaml, and then I will type I for insert. Right click to paste in that playbook. And it looks like we got a nice clean paste. So I will type escape to leave the insert mode. Hit colon. You can see the colon appear down here. And then W for save or write, and Q for quit. Now we'll run the Ansible playbook. -i hosts for our host file. And then, what did I call this? Install NSX Vibs. And we'll go ahead and run this. And we can see the task is running here. It takes a second. And this task actually may take a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and I'll resume shortly. Okay, we're back, and we can see that our install NSX Vibs file ran. We got OK to gathering the MOID, since that didn't change the value. And then for installing the Vibs, we got changed. Right? So you got two OK tasks. One of them resulted in a change. Neither were unreachable or failed. It's important. And as you see, that looks exactly like this output here that we have in the course materials. So let's go ahead and we'll verify the results. Let's go ahead and look in the our remote desktop session. And we'll look in our vSphere web client here. Let's come from your home page. Go to the Networking and Security tab. Go to the Installation tab. And then finally, once this loads, we're going to go to the Host Preparation tab. And we can click the caret here to expand our hosts. And we can see that we have green check marks next to the installation status of each of our ESXi hosts. It's showing us the specific version that has been of the Vib that has been installed. And we can see that the firewall is enabled. Now those firewalls do install with a install open, right? So it's not going to deny any of your traffic when you install this. And finally, we have a VXLAN here. We haven't configured the VXLAN settings yet, so this should show as not configured. And we can see here that our hosts have been prepared and the VIBs have been installed. Thank you.